the dining room was added on by either the end of the Kramers or the Bannings. Mm-hmm. They built the cottages too, because Flo Walt was the name of the owners, Florence and Walter Banning, and they had a cottage named Flo Walt. That was the second cottage. Third one was called Mary Pop, and I don't know who that was. Marypop. And the cottage that my dad converted to a 2-bedroom home and was the last piece of property that we as a family owned was called Happy Hours. First of all, when we went to the Chapmans, the business was awful there. They used to take frozen shrimp that were already cooked and fry them again and serve them to the customers. Well, my mother knew that was not right. We used to have Jewish clients that would come in. Again, Route 20 was a very busy area. She'd send somebody over next. There used to be a grocery store where WKKY was, Fisher's, wasn't it? Anyway, a grocery store right next door. She'd send him next door, get me a can of sardines, get me something like that's kosher, and I'll put out a platter for him if it's not on there. That was the kind of person that she was.
They were overworked. They were there every day but Christmas Day, and they were there almost 24/7. Decided they were going to go down to Geneva-On-The-Lake.
They traded the Chapmans for the Cleveland Inn business, a swap. And along with the business came an after-hours club called the Ashtabula Family Club. We got in there around 53, 54, right? And we ran it for sure without the arcade until 56 when my dad built it. And I recall that we ran the dining room and restaurant. That was primarily my mother's area, and the arcade was his 1 year. So we're about 56, 57, 4 years tops. Dining room had a bar that ran for 30 feet, 40 feet. Okay. And there was also a bar that was in the area of, it was kind of like, if you could understand what a tiki bar is, you could put maybe 8 people or 6 people up to the bar. That's all. Hawaii was a very big deal in the 50s. And we had a bandstand with Hawaiian girls painted, Hawaiian native girls painted on the backstop. We had a blonde and a brunette, or a blonde and a gal, Japanese gal with black hair that would do the hula. We had a guitarist play Hawaiian guitar. Patty Lobato.
After that, your mother.
It was, and I think the tiki bar kind of came in all at that time.
Joe, after 2 years, built the arcade in front lawn of what was the
Cleveland Inn, and he made the steps that went up to the upper level, and there was 3 pool tables and more machines up there. I think we had 120, 30 machines, and they were all old-fashioned because we bought them in mid to late 50s, most of them, and they came like a package deal. It got changed when we went to an arcade and everything. Also, we lost our liquor license. My dad, I was so young. We're talking, 7, 8 years old. But somehow we either sold it or gave it up. And because you have to operate, there are restrictions on, you have to operate it enough. So at that point, there was not a draw for people to come back all that distance through the arcade, up the steps,